my name is Alyssa, and in today's video we are going to be doing a mood reading vlog. But basically I'm going to be just picking whatever book I want to read and then reading it with you for a week. That's basically the entire video. The entire summer I have been in a reading slump. I think I've maybe read 2 books from May to end of July, where we are now. And I'm trying to get back into reading. So I thought maybe a mood reading vlog would help. The primary genres that I kind of go to are romance. That's kind of all I read. I read a little bit of fantasy here and there, but it has to be romantasy. And romance specifically, I like a deeper, more emotional romance. Rom-com romances aren't my favorite, even though I love the romance genre. If it's a rom-com, I'm most likely not going to rate it very high, and I'm kind of going to be bored. With all that being said, the book that I'm currently reading right now is The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. I don't have the physical book with me right now. I'm reading it on my Kindle, but the physical book is coming later today, so I should have the physical book when I start reading later. And then the other books that I have on my radar, I have 2 other books on my radar. I don't know how many books we're going to get through this entire video, but I really want to read Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan and Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone. So these are the other 2 books that are on my radar. We'll see which one, or if we read both of them in this video. I don't think we'll get more than 3 books done, but if we happen to go to a 4th, I also really want to read Every Summer After. I know, have you not read this yet? I don't know. I just haven't. But this is definitely on my list because I want to read this before summer, so I can read the newest one because I heard that one's really good. But these are the 2 books that are on my radar. I am reading The Conditions of Will right now. I'm actually really enjoying it, which I was surprised about because I'm not a huge Magnolia Parks lover. I read the first one and never finished the series, but I actually really like The Conditions of Will, and Jessa's writing in it is really beautiful, and I'm really enjoying the story so far. That is the intro to this video. Let's get to reading. Okay, hello. I have my very first update that I'm doing on The Conditions of Will. I'm on chapter 32. I'm on page 233. I know that's kind of far into the book to do an update, but I was reading this book a little bit before I had started filming this video. Okay, so the premise of this book is Georgia is our main character. She does not get along with her family at all. She doesn't like them. They don't really like her. She doesn't feel included by them. And when she's a teenager, she moves away and she basically never goes back. Never really talks to any of them, ignores her sister's calls. She just never goes back. But then she gets a call that her dad has died, so she has to go back for the funeral, which she's obviously not very excited about. So she's going back to her hometown, and her brother Oliver, he is like the one person in the family that she actually is close to and loves, and it was kind of them against the rest of the family. But he's also going back, and so that makes it a little easier for her. But Ollie is an alcoholic, and when he comes home for the funeral, he brings his sponsor, Sam, and that is the male romantic interest in this. And it's basically about Georgia and Sam navigating their feelings for each other, while Oliver's obviously in the mix. Like, it's his sponsor, and also the dynamic of her family on top of, like, these new feelings for him. That's kind of a premise on the book, but like I said, I'm on page 233. I'm pretty far into it. I'm like halfway, and I love it. I love it. And I am not a Magnolia Parks lover. I know. I read the first Magnolia Parks book, and I didn't love it, so I just never finished the series. I've literally only read the first one, but I didn't love the first one. So I was actually kind of surprised that I liked this book as much as I am, but I feel like this is a very it's not a rom-com. Like, I'm a romance book lover, but I love a romance book that is deeper and more emotional, and it has like a deeper subplot because it feels more real and more raw, rather than just like a rom-com where on every other page you're like, this is unrealistic. It's fun, but it's unrealistic. This I feel like is realistic, and it shows like real feelings and real emotions. And I actually really do like Jessa's writing in this. It feels like she takes you out of the story a little bit and she like talks to you kind of, which I really enjoy. I really like our main character, Georgia. She's a psychology major in school. She's majoring to be a psychologist. And you get to see her like read people. Like, you're in her brain obviously, and she's like reading people by their facial expressions. And it's actually really interesting. I like that like mini subplot, I guess. It's very interesting to read about. And Sam, he's just like a great guy. I love Sam. He's just a great guy. He's sweet, he's caring, he cares about her, especially when she's around her entire family who doesn't really care about her. He sticks up for her, and it's really nice to see. My one gripe about this book is the brother. Oliver, I hate Oliver. Like, I literally have to shut the book sometimes because of how much I hate Oliver. I hate him, but what are you gonna do? Right now, we're kind of getting into the deeper reasons of why she doesn't like her family and why her family kind of has fallen apart on her side. And it's really nice to see like her actual perspective on it, because something happens like before she gets sent away, but very early on we know that it's not actually what happened. We're kind of just waiting to find out what happened. We just found out what happened, which was, I would look up trigger warnings, but it was very raw, very emotional, which I personally enjoyed because it makes you feel like you can connect to the story and the characters more. But that is my opinions on it so far. I'm about to read a little bit more. I'm really enjoying it. I don't know if it'll be a 5-star, but it will definitely be a high 4 as of right now. But this is the book we're reading right now. I'm gonna go read some more, and I will get back to you when I have something else to say. It is time for an update. There's a little bit of a location change, but I just got bored of sitting in my bed. I'm currently on page 331. I'm on chapter 46. As for updates, I can't really tell you that much about what's actually going on in the story right now, because it would kind of spoil something else that's going on. So there's not a lot I can say about the actual plot that is going on, but I do have a few like feeling changes. The first one being, I hate Oliver. I hate her brother. Georgia loves her brother so much. He is her #1 person. She tries so hard to make sure he is happy and taken care of, and she cares so much about him. It's sweet, amazing, and honestly kind of sad, because he is so selfish. He only cares about himself. He doesn't care about how any of his actions make Georgia feel. He doesn't care about her feelings, and it's like infuriating, because Georgia has been there for him throughout so much. Like, throughout like the family endeavors, she is stuck by his side instead of the rest of her family side, which has then caused her family to not like her. It's a whole big thing, and she has stood by him through everything, and he just doesn't care about her feelings, and it's really infuriating. And it's honestly kind of taking away from the story a little bit because of how mad it makes me. Like, I literally have to shut the book because I'm just like, there is no way he is saying or doing or whatever right now, but he is. As for Georgia and Sam, I love their dynamic. I love Georgia on her own, and I love Sam on his own. I think they're both really great characters. I especially love Georgia just for her values and what she stands for and how she speaks and carries herself. And I also mentioned before, I really like that she's including us in like reading people in her psychology brain. I think that's really interesting. But I also really love their dynamic. I feel like they're a really good couple, and they have really pure feelings for each other, and I really value that. It's not like a fake, it's kind of insta lovey, but you can tell that it's like genuine. Like, it's a crush at first, and like crushes can happen instantly, and it's like a crush and it just blooms into more, and it's really beautiful. And I love the way that they feel about each other and how they're so open and honest about it. My other gripe with this book is I feel like it's too long. Like, this book does not need to be over 400 pages, especially in like what I've read so far. Like, a lot of this definitely didn't need to be in here. It could have been probably 50 to 100 pages shorter and still gotten the point across. And I feel like it might have been better that way. Like I feel like the end will probably be better, but like this chunk of the book is just slow and you're kind of just dragging on, and I feel like it's honestly unnecessary and could have been cut down. I'm still enjoying the story and I still am probably gonna rate it pretty well. But those are all the thoughts I have right now. Like I said, I have a little more than 100 pages left, so I'm gonna try to get this read. I'll probably finish it tomorrow, but I don't think I'll talk to you again until I finish it, so you'll be hearing my final thoughts, because I don't know what I'm gonna have to say within the next few pages, but that is the update for now. I will see you probably tomorrow when I finish this book. Okay, hello. I believe it is time for an update. I haven't given an update since yesterday, but yesterday I finished The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. I'm looking for my phone because I wrote all my thoughts down. Okay, we're back. A little angled switch as well because my battery died. It's okay. So yesterday I finished The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. This book came out to be a 4.5 out of 5. My main two gripes with this book are, one, the length. I feel like if it was shorter, it definitely could have been a 5-star. I feel like there was just a lot of unnecessary information that didn't really need to be in the book. And the other reason that it's not a 5-star is solely because of her brother, Oliver. I hate Oliver. I will say it proudly with my chest, I hate Oliver. Okay, but the notes that I didn't share with you on this book is, so Georgia is our main character. She has two brothers, Tennyson. I'm gonna say Tennyson because I think that's what it's called, but Tennyson and Oliver. Oliver, we know how I feel about Oliver, but I'll get to that in a second. Tennyson, her and him didn't have a very good relationship growing up. He was never really there for her, and he kind of sided with her sister Marianne, who she also doesn't like, and their parents more often than he sided with Georgia, so they just weren't very close when they were kids. But when she's coming back to her hometown for her dad's funeral, I don't think that's a spoiler because it's like pretty beginning in the book. But as she goes back to her hometown for her dad's funeral, him and her kind of form this relationship. I love the relationship that they form through the book. That's basically what I'm getting at. I'm going to call him Tenny because I can't just keep saying Tennyson. I don't know why, I just can't. Tenny, I feel like Tenny has one of the best growths in a character that I've seen in a really long time. His growth is just so good and really nice to watch and see, especially for Georgia, like that she finally has like another person from her family that she can be close with. And I love the relationship that him and Georgia are bonding together, especially since before they weren't very close at all and now they have a newfound admiration of each other. And another thing with Tenny, not having to do with Georgia at all, but Tenny is also really trying to grow a relationship with Oliver. And even though I don't like Oliver as a character, I still can appreciate the growth of Tenny's character for him trying to make a relationship with Oliver, because Oliver looks up to Tenny because he's his older brother and obviously he wants that approval from him. And Tenny is finally trying to be like, hey, I'm interested in what you're interested. Like, tell me about you. Tell me about your life. Like, he's being interested in Oliver's life, and I feel like that's a really beautiful thing to watch. Or read. Another thing, this thing I can't really go into full detail about because it's kind of a spoiler, but at the end of the book something happens and I'm just really, really mad about it because Oliver like basically has something amazing happen to him and I just don't feel like Oliver deserves it. Like, yes, Oliver was treated poorly as a child, but even when he was being treated poorly as a child, Georgia stood by his side. She took the fall for him multiple times. Georgia was Oliver's #1 supporter throughout all of their life. Childhood, when they were back at home, when they moved away from each other, everything. And even in their childhood, Oliver let Georgia take the side for so many things. And I feel like, one, that's like kind of not okay. Because yeah,
Like, I get why Georgia was doing it because she loves Oliver so much and she didn't want to see him hurt, but because Georgia was taking the fall, her parents just took things out on her that weren't even her fault. And Oliver, like, I feel like he didn't really express proper gratitude to her. And then especially, like, growing up into, like, present time in the book, he's just such a shitty brother. Like, he's so selfish and he only cares about himself and how his actions affect himself. And he's not, like, consciously like, hey, maybe I am the problem. No. It's like, you hurt my feelings. I don't care what the situation is. You hurt my feelings, you're dead to me. And I just don't feel like that's fair because Georgia has been there for him throughout so much of his entire life and stood by his side through so much. And I just feel like it's not really fair. But that is my thoughts and opinions on The Conditions of Will. 4.5 stars. I honestly really did enjoy this book despite Oliver and how long it is. And I feel like a lot of people would enjoy it. The writing is very beautiful. I love the writing. I love Georgia as a character. I also love Sam as a character, and I love the relationship that they have built together. But that is my review on The Conditions of Will and the first book finished in this reading vlog. So I finished this book yesterday, like I said, and then today I started Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. So this is the next book that we are going to be reading in this video. I am currently on page 42, so I don't really have that much to say about it yet, but honestly it's kind of boring. I don't really like it, and I'm kind of sad because I know a lot of people love this book, and I'm just not really understanding the hype yet. Like, the first few pages I kind of was like, oh yeah, I can see like how this is going good, but like the past like probably 30 pages I've just been like, this is kind of boring and I don't really like it. But I'm going to keep reading. I'm going to try to get to at least page like 100, maybe a little bit further than that today, just so I can get a little bit deeper into the story before I form any like real opinions on it. But that is my opinion on this so far. But with all of that being said, let's go read some of Before I Let Go.
guys, I have a update for you. Like I talked about, I'm reading Before I Let Go, and I'm pretty sure I told y'all when I started this book it was kind of slow and I wasn't really enjoying it very much. I just got to chapter 14 and I'm 134 pages in, so I feel like I'm decently into it now. And my thoughts at this very moment are the story is definitely getting better. I'm definitely enjoying it more. I think in the beginning I just wasn't really connecting to the characters very well, but it was, again, like the first 30 pages, so there's not a lot of connecting that could be done. I think I just wasn't fully connected to them now. And now I feel like I'm definitely more connected to each of them on their own, Yasmin and Josiah. And I can definitely appreciate this book for what it is, and I am enjoying it. Like, I'm I want to pick it up. Like, I'm reaching for it. I'm wanting to read it, but it's still not really my favorite book, and I'm not sure like what's wrong with it. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I'm just not sure what my gripe is with it or what I'm not loving about it. Because it is a good book. Like, I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying the story. I'm enjoying their dynamic and their dynamics on their own and the kids' dynamic. Like, I like everything separately. I think it's just like a little bit boring. And that's like, I feel really bad saying that because it's about such heavy topics. And I'm not saying that those topics are boring. I'm just saying like the pace of it is a little boring and it's kind of going a little bit slow. And I feel like there's a few like holes in some places, but that may just be me because I haven't heard anyone else say that. But I am definitely enjoying it. But I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to be rating this book. I have no idea how it's going to turn out. So don't really have a full opinion on it yet. But basically this book is about Yasmin and Josiah. It's like, I'm guessing it's a second chance romance because in the very beginning, like in the epilogue, what is it called? In the beginning, before chapter 1, they are married, and then in chapter 1 they are divorced. So it's a married couple, their dynamic, while being divorced and raising 2 kids and still having like feelings for each other, even though I feel like they're not outright saying that they both have feelings for each other, but you can definitely tell they're still there. This book does talk about some pretty heavy topics, so I would look up trigger warnings. I'm not sure if there's any trigger warnings in the beginning of this book. I feel like there might have been. Yeah, there is like a trigger warnings page, so just be mindful of that before you go in because I just read something and I was like, oh wow, that was kind of a lot to read. I am very interested to see how the story plays out because, like I said, as of now, they're not really like acknowledging their feelings for each other or any feelings at all. Like, I feel like for me to even see the feelings, I have to like grab at some things. It's not just like outright there in front of you, and I am almost 150 pages into the book. But there's not a lot happening with their romantic relationship or getting back together. I don't even know if they get back together. Like, I literally have no idea. But I'm guessing that's what happens, but as of right now, I literally have no idea how this book is going to go or what's going to happen. And I also have no idea how I actually feel about it. Like, I like it. It's a good book. It's just not my favorite, if that makes sense. But we'll see if it turns into my favorite. I'm going to go read a little bit more and see how much I can get done tonight. Because I'm hoping to finish this book by tomorrow or the next day, but we'll see how that goes. Because I'm kind of a slow reader, if you haven't noticed. But I'm going to go read some more of this, and I will let you know how I feel when I feel something else. Okay, hello. I have an update. We have finally finished Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. This book took me longer to finish than I originally anticipated. And I'm kind of a little bit disappointed. It was a good story. It was a good book. The characters were good. The buildup was good. The chemistry was good. I don't know why. I just didn't love it. And it was a good story. It's a very emotional romance. It has a lot of deeper topics talked about in it. Like I said before, I would look up trigger warnings before you get into this book, but it just wasn't my favorite. It's not bad, but I just was expecting a little bit more because normally this type of romance I am all about. My final rating with this one, I think I'm landing on like a 3.5, somewhere in that range. I think I'll give it a 3.5. The ending was very good. I do have to say, like, this portion of the book I really enjoyed, but like the rest of it was just boring to me. And I feel like it kind of dragged on a little bit in some areas that it didn't necessarily need to. But I really like the mental health representation in this book. I feel like mental health gets a very good rep in this, and it's talked about in a good and healthy way. So I feel like that's a really beautiful thing about this book.
The story follows Yasmin and Josiah. They are a divorced couple trying to navigate co-parenting and owning a business together and just basically being around each other at all times, being divorced. They go through so much loss as a couple, and that ultimately tears them apart. But you're kind of just following them navigating their life. I feel like this being marketed as a romance is kind of maybe a little bit misleading. I feel like it's more of a, I want to say it's kind of just like a fiction that's following the dynamic of a married couple that has been divorced but is still in each other's lives so heavily. And it's a depiction of like a good, healthy co-parenting style, I would say. But I feel like this is not a romance. I feel like romance is definitely a subplot and it's sprinkled in, with the main book being more of general fiction and just following a co-parenting divorce couple and like a real representation of that, which is beautiful. But I think that's maybe why I didn't rate it as high, because I went into this thinking that it was going to be a romance and it didn't really deliver on all of those aspects. Another thing is I love a good slow burn. Slow burn is amazing. The tension, the buildup, it's great. I just didn't really enjoy it in this. And I know like it had to be slow burn because it is a second chance romance and they're divorced. So obviously they're not going to just be undivorced or get remarried halfway through the book, because then what is the rest of the book going to be? But I feel like I would have liked to see a little bit less of a slow burn. Like I would have liked to see some chemistry between both of them a little sooner in the book, even if they didn't get together earlier. I just feel like the chemistry was there, but like also it wasn't there. It was a really weird feeling, like the beginning half of this book, because the beginning half of this book, I genuinely had no idea if they were even gonna get back together or if they were gonna stay divorced. I had no idea how this book was gonna turn out. And I guess that's like kind of the point of a good deep romance, but I don't know. I just didn't really love that aspect of it. The writing in this is beautiful. I really love Kennedy Ryan's writing, and I liked the deeper topics. I like how she talked about them. I appreciate that she brought light to so many things that people genuinely go through, and I feel like that was done really well. But I don't know, it just wasn't my favorite. It's still a good book. I still would recommend it. I would just definitely look up trigger warnings before you pick it up if you are easily triggered or anything like that. But this book I'm landing on a 3.5. With all of that being said, that actually brings us to the end of this video. I wanted to thank you all for reading with me for a week. This was kind of a mood reading vlog. I was just reading whatever I wanted to, and we got 2 books done, which I think is pretty good considering I've been in the slump basically the entire summer. Let me know any other videos you want to see in the comments down below, or if you have any requests. But with all that being said, I will see you in the next one. Bye!